What's up, guys? We are at the end of the road. We are going to predict the winners for the Oscars that are coming up this Sunday. We've made it. We've been predicting nominees all year. Now we're predicting the winners. I also got to say, this award season may be the most contentious and open race I've seen in quite a while. Usually it's like one or two categories that are open. Picture, a couple acting. There's a lot of open stuff, and it's super contentious. It literally is like every day a new movie is falling. So like every movie had a controversy except for like two. So it's been very fun following it. I don't know if fun's the word, but it's been very interesting. I'll say that to follow this. Now let's get right into predicting the winners. Let's start with Best Picture. I believe that Anora is gonna win Best Picture. This is one of the kind of open categories, and especially, The Brutalist and Emilia Pérez won Golden Globe, drama and comedy. Conclave won BAFTA and SAG Ensemble. Anora won Critics' Choice. It won PGA. So we got some things all over the place. But I have some stats here. So since the PGAs have been around, there's only been 10 times that a movie won PGA but lost at the Oscars. So that was Crying Game, it lost to Unforgiven. Apollo 13 lost to Braveheart. Saving Private Ryan lost to Shakespeare in Love. Moulin Rouge lost to A Beautiful Mind. The Aviator lost to $1 Million Baby. Brokeback Mountain lost to Crash. Little Miss Sunshine lost to Departed. The Big Short lost to Spotlight. La La Land lost to Moonlight. And then 1917 lost to Parasite. Let's just go. I don't count 2019 because I feel like Parasite has such a surge post nomination that I think that's why. It didn't get a lot of nominations, but then it surged and then it started winning everything. So it makes sense why 1917 won. I feel like that was the front runner at the time, and then everything just changed. Where this year we had Emilia Perez, Brutalist, and then Anora won back to back. We won Critics' Choice Award, PGA, DGA, and I believe WGA, all within one weekend. And then it kind of that was the twist, or the kind of the new front runner, and then Conclave won Best Film at BAFTA and then Best SAG Ensemble. So there's kind of always a turning. There's something always turning this year compared to last year. It's not like one big turn that's a new front runner. I don't know. It's almost like it's went back in time because the beginning of the Oscar race back in the earlier beginning of the year, it was Anora. And then it kind of faded out, and then Nora came back. So there's a lot going on. But to even thin it out, so like I said, Nora won DGA and PGA. So the number of times a film won both of those but lost the Best Picture was only 6 times. Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan, Brokeback Mountain, Gravity, La La Land, and 1917. Like I said, it's more like it hasn't really been done since 20. Yes, it's been technically done since 2019. It hasn't. Yes, technically the last time was 2019, but after I kind of explained it, I kind of more consider 2016 to be the kind of real last time. But we'll count it. So it's happened so few times that it could. This is a very wide race. So I think the only other one that can the only other thing that can probably beat it is Conclave at this time. I don't think, I know because of the fires and all that, people were saying they were more going for Wicked to choose as their winners and stuff to make everything more upbeat. But I don't think it hasn't really won any picture ones that I can't really be oh, it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be Anora. I think Anora is the clear front runner. It has a lot of awards, but if I had to say something else to be a surprise win over instead of Anora, I would have to go Conclave. I think anything else I really can't see. If The Brutalist would have won BAFTA or Critics' Choice, I maybe would have been oh, that could be in the contention, but that only won Golden Globe, and the ratio to Golden Globe wins to Best Picture wins at the Oscars aren't as airtight as PGA. I know with King's Speech, David Fincher for Social Network won. I believe it was Golden Globe, and then for Best Drama, and then I think The King's Speech won PGA, and then it ended up King's Speech winning for the Oscars. So this is a tough one, and I feel like last year was such a lock that like it's like kind of like a 180 and like whiplash, because now it's like there's not really a, even the lock doesn't seem like a lock this year, which is crazy. I think the two options are Anora with a Conclave upset, but there's that slight like sliver of a chance that like it can be like a what that one. I'm not sure. I don't know what movie that would be. So I'm going with Anora right now. Now, really quick, I'll kind of give who I want to win these awards at the very end before I move on to the next one. For Best Picture, I want The Substance. I think The Substance should win, but I think Anora will win. So yeah, for Director, I have Sean Baker for Anora. He won the DGA. Like I said, I think the last time there's been 8 times that the director who won DGA didn't go on to win Best Director, and that was the movie The Lion, the Witch. That won the DGA, but then it lost to Oliver for Director. The Godfather lost to Cabaret at the Oscars. Color Purple, Steven Spielberg wasn't even nominated for Director. Apollo 13, Ron Howard wasn't even nominated for Best Director. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon lost to Traffic. Chicago lost to The Pianist. Argo, Ben Affleck wasn't even nominated for Best Director. And then 1917 lost to Parasite. And like I said, I might be stupid for this being my like hill to die on. I don't really consider the 1917 Parasite one. There was such a, I'm just gonna mention it again. There was such a late surge. Like I think they won the SAG, and then like from there it was like, oh, they're winning. Like, and it wasn't like oh, could this be a new front runner? It was like, this is the front runner. So like, Parasite was like a thing. It's like a beast of its own. So like, yes, it is a stat technically, but I don't count that in these right now. My thinking, because it's like a different race. And so I'm going from, with the picture, it was from like 2016 on, and then for directing 2012 on. And I mean, there was 3 times they weren't even nominated, but they won DJ, and that's not the case for this one. So then you're leaving 1, 2, 3, 4. They're leaving like 4 times, really. And that's a very small percentage. So normally DGA picks the future Oscar winner for Best Director. So I'm going Sean Baker. Brady Corbet won BAFTA, and Brady Corbet won Golden Globes. John M. Chu won Critics' Choice, so that kind of also like didn't help decide who's it going to be. It was really funny actually when he won. He's like, I'm winning Best Director because they said the last like 6 people have gone on to win Best Director. Stats are meant to be broken. But I'm going with Sean Baker for Best Director with a possible upset of Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. Anora will win. This one's hard because there's actually a lot of good ones in this category. I would say I think Anora, Brutalist, or Substance should win. One of those 3. Now, on to probably the most talked about category this year. And I feel like it's a lot of times Best Actress. I think, so this one's going to be hard. So, Demi Moore I think is winning. But there is a strong possibility that Mikey Madison could win. Demi Moore won Golden Globe, SAG, Critics' Choice, and Mikey Madison won BAFTA. But there have been times where, let's just say Glenn Close won SAG the year she was nominated for The Wife. Olivia Colman won BAFTA for The Favorite at the Oscars. They all thought it was going to be Glenn Close. It was Olivia Colman. But then there's also times like when Brendan Fraser won the Oscar for The Whale. He won SAG, but Austin Butler won BAFTA, and they ended up going with SAG. So they go back and forth of like who has more sway. I have a little list here of the amount of times like BAFTA was right or SAG was right, or they both were right or they both were wrong in their choices. For BAFTA, it was 3 times. In 2013, BAFTA chose Emma Stone instead of Lily Gladstone, like the SAGs did. 2020, Anthony Hopkins for The Father instead of Chadwick Boseman. And 2018, like the Olivia Colman example I gave. Then on the other hand, SAG is also 3 times that, BAFTA and SAG they chose BAFTA and SAG at the same amount of time, so there's no real leverage over it. Over one or the other, so it's kind of like hard to use this as a defense, but like it's helping me just be more informed when I choose. But with SAG in 2022, and Brendan Fraser won, and Michelle Yeoh won instead of Austin Butler and Cate Blanchett. 2021, SAG got it right with Jessica Chastain. And then 2013, SAG also got it right with Matthew McConaughey instead of Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave. Said it was Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. I just kind of went into a long spiel. Does it really help? Not necessarily, but I will say the Oscars like to choose more of the narrative than BAFTA does. So I think with BAFTA they chose who they want, and that's why Austin Butler's won before. They don't like the Oscars don't like to give it necessarily to very young actors and actresses. So I think that's why Austin Butler won. I think that's why Mikey Madison won. But I think the Oscars like to go more towards a narrative, and it's their time, like Brendan Fraser, like a few other people. And I think that's why I am saying that Demi Moore will win with a very strong chance of an upset for Mikey Madison. Very, very strong chance. I think the next closest one is probably Fernando Torres, but like far, far away from this two-person race. I'm fine with either of them winning, but I really do think Demi Moore should win. I just love the substance, but that's who I think is winning Best Actress. I think it's Demi Moore with a very high chance that it could be an upset for Mikey Madison, but I also think Demi Moore should win as well. Now, kind of talking about the same thing with Best Actor, there wasn't a real race. I mean, like it was always like Timothée Chalamet and Adrien Brody, but Adrien Brody won Golden Globe, BAFTA, and Critics' Choice, and then at SAGs this weekend, at the SAG Awards this weekend, Timothée Chalamet won. And I just, to kind of go back with like, is it going to be like a SAG one over a BAFTA? You know, which one of their winners is going to win? I'm sort of leaning towards Timothée Chalamet. I think this might be Adrien Brody won before. I think Timothée Chalamet was. Everyone's praising him for A Complete Unknown, and he has Dune Part 2, and like he's been recognized a lot, and it's not like this is his first nomination like with Mikey Madison. He's been nominated for Call Me By Your Name. He's been in like 7 Best Picture nominated movies. So I think the SAGs might have been like the turning point to kind of be like, don't forget to look at that one, like almost like a Jamie Lee Curtis, where it's like, hey, like don't forget, like I think, you know, don't count this race out. I know The Brutalist got a lot of nominations, but so did A Complete Unknown, not as much, but a surprisingly high amount, more than I think people thought. So I think I'm gonna. This is a hard one for me. I think Timothée Chalamet is going to win. Who I think should win, I'm fine with either of them winning. I thought both gave great performances, and this is a tighter race than the Best Actor usually is. So that I think this is an interesting case. I think it's a similar thing with Brendan Fraser and Austin Butler, and I think it's funny too because it's another like an older actor and a younger actor. We'll see. Would this be like the youngest winners out of like all the acting ones yet? Are they gonna give both leading and leading actress and actor to younger actors? I think it's gonna be one older actor, one younger actor. So I think Timothée Chalamet will win with a upset from Adrien Brody, but I think either of those should win. They both were very good. Is there a chance for Ray Fiennes? I don't think so. He hasn't won anything. The only times they've won is for film or like Best Ensemble, which is like equal to like a film at the SAG Awards. So I don't think so. Okay, so from here on out, we kind of went through the real close races of picture, director, actor, and actress. And now the rest of these are a little more. There may be like, you know, some close races, but a lot of them are more locked than not. So Best Supporting Actress, I think Zoe Saldana is winning Best Supporting Actress. The only competition was Ariana Grande. She hasn't won anything yet. Zoe Saldana has swept. I think Zoe Saldana will win, but I think Ariana Grande should win. Supporting Actor, same with Supporting Actress. There has been a sweep this whole season. I think Kieran Culkin is winning this, and I think he should win this. He's very good in the role. Best Original Screenplay, you know, I think it's going to Anora, but, you know, Anora won WGA. I think The Substance won Critics' Choice, and then A Real Pain won BAFTA. So I think it's going to be any of those. I don't think it's Brutalist or September 5, but my thing is it depends on who wins Best Actress. If Demi Moore wins Best Actress, they're giving Original Screenplay to Anora. If Mikey Madison wins Best Actress, they're giving the Best Original Screenplay to The Substance. So since I have The Substance winning Best Actress, I'm going to give Original Screenplay to Anora. So I think Anora will win, and I think The Substance should win, but I'm also fine with Anora winning as well. Best Adapted Screenplay, it's Conclave. It's the only one that's won. It's swept. I don't see anything else winning. Best International Feature. So I think because Zoe Saldana has kind of came out of the whole Emilia Pérez controversy unscathed, I do think its chances for like supporting, international, and song are also not going to hurt it. Are also not going to like get taken away. I think those are what it's going to win. I'm least confident on international feature, but I still think it's going to win. It's won Critics' Choice. It won Golden Globes. It has won a lot of the nominations. It has won a lot of the precursors. The Academy obviously loved this movie. There is the controversy, but they still love it. It's tied for like the second most nominated film of all time. I think there is a real chance that I'm Still Here because of the controversy could have rose. But I do think the nominations for that movie is more of the prize than the win. I'm saying that Emilia Perez will win. There could be an upset from I'm Still Here. I haven't seen it yet anywhere, but it's also been snubbed a lot. So that's why I'm like, is it going to come out of nowhere and is it going to win? So I'm not sure. But right now I'm going to say Emilia Perez will win, and I'm Still Here should win. That movie is amazing. If I'm Still Here wins international feature, I think that shows that the controversy did hurt it. So there's a good chance either of those can win, but I think it's going to be Emilia Perez. Documentary, I think it's going to be No Other Land. It's won, I think, like the most out of all the documentary ones. I'm not familiar with a lot of the movies. I just know No Other Land has won the most times. So I'm going with that. Should win, I haven't seen any of them. So unfortunately, I couldn't say who I think should win. For animated feature, I think The Wild Robot will win. I think Inside Out 2 should win. I really like that movie, but I also really liked Wild Robot, so I'm fine with it winning as well. I think the only competition The Wild Robot has is Flow, but Flow's only won Golden Globes, and that's more of a foreign kind of voting body. And The Wild Robot's won Critics' Choice and PGA. So, and yes, Spider-Verse won PGA last year, and still Boy and the Heron won, but that was like Miyazaki. This one doesn't have like a big name behind it. I think, once again, the nomination is the win. So I think The Wild Robot will be winning this. Best Cinematography. So this one's going to be a little tricky. So, Maria won the Cinematography Guild Awards, which was shocking. Nosferatu won Critics' Choice. So, and surprisingly, I have The Brutalist winning. There's been a few times where the Cinematography Guild did not correlate with the Oscars. It happened with La La Land, where Lion won, but La La Land won the Oscar. Happened with Cold War won the Guild, Roma won the Oscar, and then with, I forgot what won the Guild, but All Quiet on the Western Front won the Oscar. So it doesn't mean that Maria, which won, doesn't have to win, which is shocking that it won, though. So, like, maybe it might. But I think if it doesn't go with the Guild choice, it goes with a kind of showy movie like La La Land, Roma, Black and White. All Quiet was like, this big sweeping epic war film. And The Brutalist has that kind of like grand filming style. So I know it's kind of crazy, but I do think The Brutalist, Maria, or Nosferatu really could win this one. So in my order, I have Brutalist, Maria, Nosferatu. I think The Brutalist will win. And I think The Brutalist should win, but I also think Nosferatu should win. Like, I'm fine with either of those winning. I didn't see Maria. I heard it had good cinematography, but that also there's a choice. There's a chance. So I think because also I don't think The Brutalist is going to win a lot. So I think this and like score when we get to it are going to be its wins. So I think it's going to be Brutalist winning with a chance of an upset from Maria or Nosferatu. Like, I don't know if Nosferatu is going to get a win, but it has that kind of like, I think the only chance it has a chance to like shock people and win the award and have that surprise is in cinematography, because it's not going to beat Wicked in any other categories it has. I think Wicked has those locked when we get to them. So yeah, I think it's going to be The Brutalist for cinematography, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Best editing, I have Anora winning editing. To be honest with you, I thought the editing was great, so I think it should win too. I think whoever wins Best Picture is getting editing. Right now I have Anora winning Best Picture. If Conclave wins, I have I wouldn't be surprised if Conclave won. But right now I think Anora will and should win. Production design, we just mentioned this. I think Wicked had this on lock. I think that's winning. I think it should win. I do think the closest one that could cause an upset is the Nosferatu, but it's not that close. Same goes for costumes. I think it's going to be Wicked. I think it will and should win. And there's a chance that Nosferatu could win. That's the only one that could beat it, but there's not a small window of it happening. Makeup, hairstyling, it's the locked of the locked is The Substance. That is winning. Nothing else is winning. That is locked. I think it will win. I think it should win. Everything else is so far behind that it has no chance of winning. I'd be actually shocked if something else won because I don't think anything else is going to win. It's going to be The Substance. Which is why I was saying the only chance Nosferatu has to come out as a winner is with cinematography. And to mention really quick that production design, the guilds gave it to Wicked, Nosferatu, and Conclave in different genres, and then Wicked got Critics' Choice, and the same was for costume design, makeup and hairstyling for the guilds. The Substance and Wicked won. The Substance won with different genres, obviously, and then the Substance won for Critics' Choice. So for visual effects, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes won the Guild award, and then Dune 2 won Critics' Choice. I think it's going to be Dune 2 because I saw this theory online. I do think this could happen. So for Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which was the middle movie, which also Dune 2 is going to be the middle movie out of the trilogy, The Two Towers won visual effects and sound, and then the next year when The Return of the King came out, that won everything. So I can see that happening as they only give Dune sound and visual effects, and then when Messiah comes out, it kind of sweeps. I think that can happen. The only thing that I think, and this is kind of a little bit off tangent, but I think next year I do think Wicked has that chance to do that also, wins costume and production design, and then comes back and like wins everything for Wicked for good. And if that happens, then it kind of hurts Dune Messiah. But if it doesn't happen, it almost like will like everyone will assume it's gonna be Dune Messiah that like comes and like pulls the Return of the King, like kind of like card that happened with Lord of the Rings. So right now, and also Planet of the Apes movies haven't won. It always wins to another. It always loses to another movie. Will this be its year? Maybe, but I'm gonna go with Dune 2 visual effects. Even though Dune 1 won both sound and visual effects, I do think it can win again. And I do think like while it was snubbed in a lot of other categories, these are like its biggest locks that they have. So I think Dune Part 2 will win for visual effects with a possible upset with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Like it might be their time, people might give it to them because Dune's already won. But I'm fine with either Dune Part 2 or Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes winning. So I think either of those two should win, but I think it's gonna be Dune 2. And then sound, this one's kind of I just think it's gonna be Dune 2. I'm going with my theory because they kind of all the other movies, Dune Part 2, Wicked, A Complete Unknown, Emilia Pérez, and Wild Robot all won in different categories at like sound guild awards. So it's kind of like just like who do you think's gonna win? And I think it's gonna be Dune 2. So I think Dune 2 will win and should win, even though it's won before. I mean, that's happened. That it's not like this is gonna not be like the first time where the sequel wins the same ones. Like Black Panther won costume design again, stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be will and should win is Dune Part 2 for sound. Score, I think it's gonna be The Brutalist. It's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be the second of the two awards. I think they're gonna win. Challengers have been winning everywhere, not even nominated here. So I think that kind of left The Brutalist in a really good spot to win. I don't really see anything else kind of coming in for an upset. So I think the score for The Brutalist will win and should win. And the original song, I think it's going to be El Mal from Emilia Pérez. It won Critics' Choice. It won Golden Globe. It's been winning a lot. This year isn't a strong year for songs. They're not even playing them at the Oscars. So I do think it's going to be El Mal. I think the only upset would be like maybe the other Mi Camino, but I don't think that one's going to win because it hasn't been winning. I think El Mal is a stronger song. So I think El Mal will win and should win for best song. And then the shorts, I have no idea what those shorts. I have no idea what the shorts are and the likelihood of they're going to win, of them winning, so I'm not going to do those. But whoever the front runner is, I'm assuming they're going to win. So that is my predictions for who's going to win the 97th Oscars. Happens this Sunday. Conan O'Brien's hosting. Kind of excited for that. Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo are singing a Wicked medley. Excited for that. Carlos Sofia Gascon's going to be there. I don't know if I'm excited for that or just want to see. I just want to see like the tension in the room from that. So this is, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's very open race Oscars and a contentious Oscars. Let's see if we can make a feel-good Oscar ceremony from this cutthroat Oscar season. Let me know what you thought of my predictions down below. Put your predictions down below as well. Happy Oscars week, guys. I will see you next year or next month to start predicting for next year. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Cheers.